All right, everybody, good evening. Meteorologist Jack Griffin here once again, streaming on Facebook and other social media here for you because we've got still a few more warnings out there that have now just popped back up again. And so we're going to go through a bunch of these. So first off, we've got down to our south. We'll start at the very bottom here. We've got this warning that is in place of Macon and DeWitt and Piatt counties. This southern one goes until 5:45, so that one's got 4 more minutes left to go of that one. Then the next one up from that is the one that's got one over Farmer City. So DeWitt, McLean, and Piatt counties also goes until 5:45. So those 2 warnings go until 5:45 this evening for what's most likely radar indicated 60-mile-per-hour winds. That being said, though, as you'll notice, it does come with that kind of orangish yellow color, and that signifies that there is actually a tornado possible tag on these warnings, which means that this will likely be something that we could be potentially looking at in terms of maybe a brief little spin-up tornado here or there. Other than that, though, these look to be weakening just a little bit. The thing is, we just got a brand new big warning for it. In fact, I think that I turned off our weather radio. So we've got a large area now of severe thunderstorm warnings. So here we go out ahead of this line of storms. We've got Champaign County. We've got going up from there. We got a new warning there for Ford County, for Livingston County. McLean County's in a big one. We've got DeWitt and Piatt counties also involved in there too. So we have this large area of warnings now that are out for the viewing area. And also just outside of it too, we've got kind of for the El Paso area there, we've got this tornado warning just outside of our viewing area. So we've got a number of warnings that are now out and about, and you'll see that a couple things here are in play. First off, though, we do have, with this Champaign County one, once again kind of giving it that orangish color there. So it goes until 6:45 this evening, so we've got an hour with that one. The reason why they did that is because they wanted to just put it out there, and it's a big warning to get it out there. So the same thing can be said with our with our Ford County and Livingston County ones, also until 6:45. So this will be the new batch of warnings that are going to take over here in a few minutes, and we're going to be watching that as our next line of storms with the warnings there. So moving this out, you'll again see that we still do have this line of storms creating a bit of an issue across our viewing area. These storms are moving now more to the east. We still do have a lot of that northerly component with how they're moving. As you kind of see, they're kind of moving up this way as they move off to the east. So we have these warnings here that are in place. This will get cleaned up here in just a few minutes as a few of these get wrapped up and they will expire. So it'll be a little bit of a more clear picture here. But these are going to be for your severe thunderstorm warning types of alerts. Let me just pull up a few more things here. Just for an example, I want to get how fast these are moving. So these are going to the northeast at 45 miles an hour. And there's also still the possibility here that there is a brief little spin-up tornado that we could see. So what I'm going to do is turn on our velocity and show you that. So here's our velocity, and we're going to go back in here, and you're going to see that kind of right there by the DeLand area, we've got a little bit of a brighter color there. That signifies sometimes that we have a little bit in the way of some possible rotation. Right in Farmer City, right there's another spot too where we've got a little bit in the way of some rotation being picked up by our velocity on our radar. There's not a whole lot of it, but it's there, and sometimes it is enough to just get us to get that brief little circulation. And even kind of zooming in here, kind of right along Highway 150, you've got some little brighter spots here and there, some little notches here and there. That's where we could sometimes see a brief little spin-up tornado. As we keep on going north from there, you've got more in the way of some of these little areas of circulation. In fact, kind of right over the Lexington area, right here, you've got some circulation being picked up too. So there's a few spots on the radar that are being picked up, or that are being picked up with our velocity. And also, then just outside of our viewing area here in the El Paso area is where we have our rotation. That's where we have that tornado warning there. So we have some issues that we have to look at here with our storm still. We're not totally done just yet. We still do have our tornado watch that does go until 9 o'clock this evening. You'll notice that a lot of counties have been cut from it. So pretty much once this second line of storms has passed you by, it's much cooler. We expect the watch to be dropped where you live at that point. So it'll still take a little bit of some time here for locations to get cleared out, but that is what we are going for with our forecast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the Skycam, and it's going to be black here for a second as I have to switch a input here. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at Champaign's one, because it's going to be pretty cool to see the shelf cloud coming into town. Just give me a second here to boot this up. I'll go back to our radar here just to let that loop while I'm checking that out. Okay, so things are getting cleared up. It's now 5:46. We have a lot less warnings out there, which is good. It's a little bit easier to see. So first up, this big one here, this big southerly one. We've got this one for Champaign. We've got it for Douglas, McLean, and Pike counties until 6:45. Severe thunderstorm warning, winds of around 60 miles per hour, moving off to the east. We'll clear that one off. We'll then go to our next one, which is in McLean County there. That one goes until 6:15, and also includes a little bit of Woodford County also. That goes until 6:15. Then we also have our Ford County and LaSalle County one, Livingston County one until 6:45, and those are also for your 60 mile per hour winds with the occasional little spot here to look out for some rotation, which could have a brief little spin-up tornado. So my camera should be back up here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to the stadium camera on channel 2. I have to move these around here, so just give me 1 second. Our stadium one has been moved from where it was for the Illini game, so just give me 1 second here while I move it up. Okay, I need to look off to the west. Just give me one moment, moving the camera around. We'll pop it up here in just a moment, and we'll show it to you. So these storms that we've had, again, they've all had a lot in the way of some rotation. Here we go with the shelf cloud coming in here. We'll zoom back out a touch. Okay, that looks good. Just give me one moment here while I adjust this again. Channel 2. And then we go to Skycam. All right, sorry about that. Here we go with that. So here is our Skycam, and you've got the shelf cloud off in the distance coming towards Champaign. Another cool view I think was going to look pretty nice here was Pontiac's. Let's check out Pontiac's. Yep, so you got Pontiac. They're up by these warnings. And you've got a shelf cloud also being able to be seen a little bit more there too. So we've got some good views from here on out on this Monday evening, 5:49, and we're going to be able to see these storms approach the area pretty nicely during the newscast. So that'll be coming up here at 6 o'clock. So we've got some of our warnings, again, cleaned up. More storms are being seen farther down the line, actually all the way down to I-70. There's not much in the way of lightning with these. In fact, there is no lightning from Vandalia to Shelbyville. It's only until you get north of LaPlace, kind of right by Cerro Gordo, where you start to have some in the way of lightning strikes. Even going farther north from there, there's not much lightning left over. In fact, most lightning strikes are kind of in and around that area by El Paso that's got that tornado warning that's right there. So a lot of these storms actually don't have much lightning with them. They're just going to be a line of strong wind gusts that'll be coming on through, and some also briefly heavy rain too at the same time. So we'll turn our lightning off. We'll go back to our velocity, and again, that's going to be our main thing there with our velocity, is being able to see these little notches here and there. So here we go with our first area down to the bottom here. Kind of right there between Cerro Gordo and Bement, right there in that mill mine area. A little bit of some rotation being picked up on our velocity there. You've got also just off to our southwest of Monticello, tiny little bit of a notch right there too. As we keep on going north, you'll notice that up by Farmer City, you've got some stuff, and here we go by the Sabina area, kind of right there, maybe 2 areas of rotation being picked up there. Those are all within spots that are underneath that severe thunderstorm warning that could have a possible tornado tag with it too. Then also if you go to the Lexington area, there's also some rotation there too. Broad rotation, but it is still there. So a lot of these spots have some rotation with them, and then obviously we got our tornado warning for El Paso, which does have rotation clearly seen on their velocity scan. But all of these have little notches here and there with our leading edge of the winds. In fact, again, the best spot that you can really see it is kind of right by the Sabina area right there. You got two areas kind of by the Glen Avon area, the Bellflower area, and then just off to the south of Ellsworth, kind of right in there. That's where we've got some spots that do have a little bit more in the way of some rotation being picked up on the velocity. As we kind of zoom out, you've got a very good picture of the fact that this is the leading edge of our strong storms right there. That's our wind, essentially our gust front right there. So if it was straighter and if it was a little bit smoother, it'd be a little bit better. But since we've got little indentations here and there with it, you got those little notches, those are what could potentially create a brief little spin-up tornado with those. So that's why we have our warnings in the fashion that we do, just because of the fact that these storms are going to have some strong winds with them. There's not much lightning with them, but it's enough to be able to have a warning still with it. But again, the reason why these are not just straight up severe thunderstorm warnings, they are the tornado possible warnings within the severe thunderstorm warning. That is because those little notches here and there where we've got them, those are the ones that potentially could end up producing a brief little spin-up tornado. So currently the time is 5:52. These storms will continue on here for the next about 45 minutes or so if they can hold together. Again, the severe thunderstorm warning for Champaign, DeWitt, Douglas, and Pike counties goes until 6:45. You've got the one for Livingston and Ford County until 6:45 also. So those are the latest ones. And then we've got the warnings that are just off behind that one for McLean County there. And that one goes until 5:40 or 6:15, I think is what I remember. I'll get that one right there. Yep, 6:15. So these warnings, again, are going to continue here for the next 45 minutes or so. So we're going to have to wait and see how these will progress, if they can hold together as these move off to the east. And take a look at a few extra things here with our... I wonder where that went. That's strange. I'm looking at our chat with the National Weather Service, and it looks like it's down. Well, I'll figure that out later. Just checking a few more things here and there. Okay. So we've got 6 minutes until our 6 o'clock newscast begins. We've got these storms that are approaching in from the west in many spots. These are moving at around 40 miles an hour or so they're moving pretty quickly. Here's our view from Champaign, looking to the west, northwest as these storms are approaching the area. There's not much in the way of lightning with these storms. There's some heavy downpours, but they should be pretty brief. The line is getting kind of skinny, but we still do have enough here in terms of some potential with our winds to create some very strong winds. So we're going to have to look out for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over some of my graphics, and I'm going to let this go in the background as I prepare for the 6 o'clock newscast. And we'll have much more on these storms in our 6 o'clock newscast coming up. Thank you for watching, as always, and we'll prepare you and we'll give you more information as we see fit and need to with some of these storms.